I played the Fallout 76 Break It Early test application, the, beta, for around 8 hours total. Is it worth it? Did it ruin Fallout? Was it worse than Fallout Brotherhood of Steel? Will it change gaming as we know it? I don't have these answers. You know that. I did beat someone to death with a commie whacker, though. That was pretty rad. Hit me! You missed. Bang! First things first, I know a lot of you are upset that this isn't a single-player Fallout game, and that it isn't really lore-friendly. I myself was pretty mad with the reveal, as another New Vegas-style shoot-off game would have been a dream come true. Instead, we get this nasty-looking Rust knockoff that's essentially just Fallout 4 with friends. That, while being my initial impressions at E3, isn't really the case. Fallout 76 is more of its own game than anything else. Do I still think there's wasted potential? Yeah, of course. Would I still have rather had a single-player RPG? Absolutely. Did I have fun with my time in the beta? Yeah, I did. Help me, gamers. I'll start off by touching on performance. I ran this on my main rig, which has an i7-4790K, a GTX 1070, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. I had a terrible frame rate to start out, but this was only because I was running the game in borderless windowed mode, and once I switched it over to full screen, it ran at a constant 60 frames per second with only a few dips here or there. I also ran everything on low with view distance somewhere in the middle, and the game looked gorgeous. It looked beautiful. I will say that they need to get the pop-in under control, and the frame rate being tied into the physics engine might be something that will never be fixed, seeing as Fallout 4 still has the same issue, so we may never be able to get it above 60 frames without the game going completely nutso. Alright, hey, let me take a picture with you and your beautiful wife. With visuals still in mind, I'd like to talk about the reuse of many assets from Fallout 4. From my time with 76, it didn't feel like a sequel. It felt more like a side project done by a different development team with the same assets. That's because it is. This is a game by Bethesda Game Studios Austin, their first game, in fact. They were previously known as Battlecry Studios because, do you remember Battlecry? No? It's alright, there's no reason to. The reason I bring this up is because I want to remind people that while the big boys are working on Garfield and Skyrim 2, they let a new team of developers try their hand at something new with their franchise, an engine, and they've created a world that, to me at least, already seems a lot more interesting than the entire map of Fallout 4. Let's talk about the lore. While I am no Fallout historian, I've played all of the games, old and new. I've always been not the happiest little camper when it has come to Bethesda changing and retconning the lore whenever they see fit. However, I've always appreciated that they try to focus all of their games out on the East Coast to at least leave any previous lore mostly intact. I'll say that as of right now, I don't have a clear grasp on much of the lore involved in 76. Hopefully there's a reason why there are super mutants, the Brotherhood of Steel, and potentially the Enclave. Maybe I'm being a tad bit optimistic, but even a dumb explanation is better than no explanation at all. As for the new lore, I'm very excited for all the new creepy cryptids. So far I've dealt with a very nice Mothman, which from the marketing I didn't even know that they could be nice, and fought a Grafton monster. I love pretty much all of the new monster designs except for maybe the Flatwoods monster, since it just seems like a weird alien ghost. I'm not into alien ghosts. I'm not Tom Cruise. For quests, I've only done a little bit of the introduction and some small side quests. One of the side quests I did end up doing was quite enjoyable and involves a water park and a kidnapping mystery. I couldn't tell you if it was Witcher 3 Get My Pot good, but it was fun. A nanny bot looking for her baby boy for like 30 years. I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you in case you're interested in the game though. Quest NPCs, by the way, are still a thing. It's not as though there are no non-player characters in Fallout 76. There are no non-player humans in Fallout 76. As you probably know, all of the human characters are dead. There are seemingly no humans besides players. This is one of my main issues with the game. There's really no reason to not have human NPCs except as a design decision maybe. A boring design decision that requires me to listen to a constant stream of audio logs and reading little scraps of text. I really hate this choice. There might be some deep lore into why all of the humans except for the cool dudes from 76 are dead, but it's just a poor idea in my eyes, as it makes the game feel just a little emptier, especially in solo play. If they want players to represent the human population in game, then we need better options to interact with other players than just emotes and voice chat, which on PC as of this video, there is no push to talk. If they want me to build a little trading camp, they need to implement vending machines or vending robots. Look at games like Terraria, where you build rooms and vendors naturally come to your camp. I feel like 76 could benefit from a camp system more like this, but it may not be possible with its multiplayer framework. Weapons so far have been pretty hit or miss, but I love the return of the fire axe and the 10mm submachine gun. I don't know how I feel about the new weapon and armor modding system though. To mod weapons and armor, you need to scrap the same type of weapon or armor to unlock more mods to make for them, though it feels like these mods are distributed at random. So if you have a shotgun and you can't find any more to scrap, then you're kind of stuck with whatever default mod options there are. I have yet to see if mod blueprints are available to buy from vendors, since most of my time with the beta was spent exploring and murdering. Gunplay and gameplay are fine. It's more Fallout 4 gameplay, and if you didn't like the gameplay of 4, you probably won't like 76. Real-time VATS isn't too bad, but I wish your gun model would aim where you're aiming, and I wish melee combat had more animations or at least finishing moves a la Skyrim to spice things up. I want to body slam a Deathclaw, Bethesda. Make my dreams come true, and I'd wholeheartedly recommend this game. The perk card system is something new and weird. I think I'm pretty neutral on this one. I much prefer a standard perk system, however, or even something more streamlined like Fallout 4's. I don't feel hampered by it as I'm still building my character the way I want, but the random luck of the draw aspect really isn't something I enjoy, as some of my perks at level 15 are only slotted into my deck because I have no other options. I really love the new mutation system, however. At one point during my stream, I ended up getting 2 mutations that had me exploding in either lightning or radiation damage upon taking melee damage. I was a walking nuke. That was rad. I think my favorite part of 76 is simply the world. Every part of West Virginia I've explored has been wonderful, and that's one of the main driving forces behind me wanting to play more of this game. The forest biome and the toxic wastes are the only 2 I've touched on, but to me this is Fallout 76's strength. Sheer world diversity. That, and it's a game to play with people. I cannot, with my limited time, recommend solo play after having such a blast playing with friends. If you do pick up 76, set goals. The landmarks are there on the map to make you want to travel and find and explore along the way. If you're looking for a new single-player Fallout game, this isn't it. It's something else. And while it's rough, I had a lot of fun with Fallout 76, and hope to have even more after it releases. For the end of this video, I asked on Twitter if people had any questions for me about the game, and I'll try to answer any of them that I can now. Soy Socks asks, are the radio stations any good? As always in the modern Fallout games, there is a general radio station and a classical radio station. The general radio station has songs from 3, 4, and a few new ones for 76 itself. I wasn't expecting any songs from New Vegas to make an appearance, but I'm a little bummed out that Big Iron doesn't make an appearance. Mementoa asks, how fast do you think this game will die out and be forgotten? I think this will last only slightly longer than Sea of Thieves. I think this game has a shelf life of 2 years minimum. We've yet to see the future content plans, and the longevity of a multiplayer title such as this one will depend upon how content updates will be introduced. Interest in Sea of Thieves to me declined because you could easily achieve burnout after around 6 hours, since it was basically semi-truck simulator, but you're pirates. It was all about getting chests and killing people. Look at Elder Scrolls Online. That's been out for 4 years and they're still updating it. I think Fallout 76 will be fine, especially on console. Joseph asks, does it live up to the hype in your opinion? This one is a little harder to answer. Initially, like most Fallout fans, I was disappointed as I just wanted another single-player game. But the game is starting to grow on me bit by bit. I don't think I can fully answer this one until the game's out and I have the main quest line fully completed. For now, I'll say it's fun. I'm still kind of disappointed though. Andrew asks, so is the whole Fallout aesthetic ruined by it being multiplayer? Does anything change at all in terms of how it feels as a Fallout game? For me, what always made the Fallout games great were the choices you made, and the world you explored. I think this one has the world absolutely down, but there really aren't many big world-changing decisions besides being able to nuke the map for the endgame. This is another question that I need more time in the game to really answer, but for now I'll say that it still feels like a Fallout game, albeit a Bethesda one. Sam asks, can you kiss the Mothman? Yeah. I mean, kind of, sort of. There are good Mothmen. One let me commune with it for an XP boost. It scared the crap out of me, and I wish I had more than this screenshot of him. Look at this good boy. Love his purple eyes. I wonder if there are just more than this. I'm really curious. Hammerhold asks, network stability. I did not have any issues connecting or crashing when it came to the beta. The 1 or 2 PvP encounters I had were fun, though I know others who have had issues. I will say that I'm not happy with the beta launch bug on PC where it deleted my entire game because I pressed preloaded. That wasn't very cool, Todd. But I haven't had any issues with lag or any issues with my network connection. It has been kind of a smooth ride for me so far. Alright, that wraps up my thoughts on the Fallout 76 beta. One last thing, I really recommend playing with a controller on this one, as key binding is kind of a nightmare right now, though that may be another issue Bethesda addresses later. Thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos. There are also things. Did you play the beta? Did you hate it? Love it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm still kind of in the middle on this one. Leaning towards liking it, though. Also, subscribe or something, and check out my Patreon or whatever. That's a thing.